We're back at Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens, and this time they definitely have water lilies and lotuses. If you're new to the channel, my name is John. Today we're at Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens, where we're going to see lotus flowers as well as water lilies, and of course experience their annual Lotus and Water Lily Festival. Before we start our adventure, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, as that helps us build content that you like. And if you enjoy our video, hit the like button. Now let's get started. Just like any national park site, the visitor center is a must-do, and it's a great way to talk to the rangers, learn more about the aquatic plants, get a map, and ask any questions, and of course, find out information about the plants in the park itself. Coming back to Kenilworth is like entering a whole new world. When we came here in the spring, obviously we didn't see any lilies or lotuses, but it's lush with lilies and greenery, and it's bustling. I remember when we were here, there was hardly anyone here, so quite the different vibe. These lotus plants are really unique. They were discovered in China in the 1920s and then germinated in Kenilworth in the 50s. But it's estimated the seeds are over 400 years old, so obviously they're very resilient. Clearly they don't have flowers, so we're going to take a look at the garden and see what other flowers and plants we can find. The flowers typically bloom in July and August, and we're here in mid-July. So you can see all these buds here are going to be in full bloom in a week, so you could just imagine how beautiful it will be in just a week's time frame. Yes, of course it's raining, and it wouldn't be a JLU video without a little bit of weather adversity. And since we live in the DC mid-Atlantic area, sometimes it can be rainy and a little swampy, but I will take that over a 100-degree heat wave any day whatsoever. So we're going to continue on in the gardens and see what else we can find. The festival lasts 8 days, and each day has a different theme. Today is Asian culture, and we already saw a couple dances, which are really cool. But they have much more than that. They have ranger-led activities as well as educational activities, and of course, the beautiful flowers. Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens is open year-round, and if you saw our video in the springtime, we saw cherry blossoms, and they were absolutely beautiful. Even though it was cold and the ponds were dormant, there's always something to see. So let's continue exploring and see what else there is to offer. Water lilies tend to close during the heat of the day, so if you want to make the most out of seeing all the flowers, come here early. That's what we would recommend. The festival runs from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., so there's so many activities here to do, but if you want to see the flowers, come here early. We learned lotus dance and we've been practicing. Exhale. Now we're trying to execute with music.
Bring your arms up and then twist to your right. Lotus hand position. Down in front, pick your flower and smell. Good. Then cross your left arm in front and turn. Good.
How am I doing, Andrea?
Arms up to the left. Up. And bloom. Now twist your right hand in front to make the lotus position. And close. Very nice, everyone. Great job.
Thank you.
Excellent.
So graceful.
So now, I would like to turn the program back over to Lauren.
We should leave it to the professionals, but if you love the dance, please let me know. I could use words of encouragement. A lot of the lily pads and water lilies are native to this land, but they stay dormant during the winter, and then in the summer, they're in full bloom. But Kenilworth also grows tropical plants, which obviously are not natural to this particular habitat. So they grow them in these hot houses, and given the history and the propagation that they do, it's just fitting that they would grow tropical plants and then in the summertime bring them out for the public to see. Kenilworth Gardens, it might be known for 45 ponds with different water lilies and lotus flowers, but it also has an elevated boardwalk that takes you through the Tidal marshland that you have to check out. And of course, on a non-festival day, it's super quiet and you can enjoy the wildlife and the vegetation. During the festival, they have a ranger-led program.
Well, it could very well be one of the last, that little 3-acre chunk of marsh that's never been disturbed in Washington. Wow. You know, because remember when they moved the Capitol here in 1800, it was like this all over the place, you know, so that was the proverbial swamp, you know. Yeah, no, I'm not joking. Like,
the one thing that we learned about is when they moved the Capitol, they had to drain the swamp, and technically this is actually a marshland, so maybe we should be saying drain the marshland. But it's really cool place to check out, and I think maybe we even see a couple birds or herrings, so we're going to see if we can get that on video. There are just so many birds in this area. It's a shame that we forgot our binoculars. I feel like that would be perfect. So take a tip from us. Bring your binoculars if you come out to the boardwalk. Not only is Kenilworth famous for the aquatic plants, but it has such a rich history going back all the way to the native people of this land. But what you may not know is the gardens were started by a Civil War veteran as a hobby that later he used as commercial enterprise to sell different aquatic plants. It was later acquired by the federal government in 1938 and then acquired by the National Park Service. And I have to say, it is a beauty to see and such a hidden gem in the area. I can't emphasize enough, Kenilworth is such a hidden gem. Being in the DMV, there are so many different historical parks, national park sites, and museums that it's just hard to pick just one. But it's located in the northeast section of the DC area, and what's even cooler is it's right along the Anacostia River Trail, which is a 20-mile trail that you can hike or bike, and it's a great way that if you want to experience the DMV, hike the trail, and it's a great way to start your journey. We really enjoyed our time at Kenilworth Gardens, and no matter the season that you go, you will not be disappointed. We do think that coming in the summertime, that way you can see the lotus flowers as well as the water lilies is probably the best time, and the festival is spectacular. And of course, it's free admission and free parking. It does get a little packed with the crowds during the festival season, but it's still totally worth it. But that concludes our adventure in Kenilworth Gardens. We have a lot more planned, so don't forget to like and subscribe. But until next time, keep on exploring.